Hello everyone. Welcome to Confessions Jury, where people put themselves on the spot, waiting for your judgment. Sit comfortably and listen carefully, as you're about to hear today's cases. You hold the hammer and you apply the law. Let us have your verdict down in the comments section. As always, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Let's head on to our first case. Case 1. Am I the bad person for refusing to pay for my sister's college after she threw my toddler? My 24 sister, 19, has been staying with my family while she attends college because we live very close by. We were paying for everything because my husband and I make a much steadier income than either of my parents, and we have enough savings together that it just makes more sense for us to pay for my sister rather than my parents, who helped pay for both me and my husband when we were both in school. In return for charging her no rent, feeding her, and paying for college, all I occasionally ask of her is to help me with my 22-month son. It is never for longer than an hour max, and only so I can do things like cook or clean without him clinging to my leg or begging to be hugged. He adores her, so it is much easier to hand him off to her while I try to clean up. She doesn't mind because I usually pay her something like $10 to $15 when it's any longer than 15 minutes. Please understand, this is never, absolutely never for longer than an hour. I understand that she has studies and most times would rather not deal with him, but I always ask if she minds, and whenever she says she's busy or not right now, I always acquiesce and try to find some other way to handle him, usually with YouTube or something similar which I dislike, but it's better than him trying to crawl under my legs when I'm handling a hot pot or something to that effect. Something I have warned her about repeatedly is not to have necklaces, bracelets, earrings, hair clips, etc. when she's taking care of him. Anything that can be pulled or taken off. This is because he has a tendency to pull and play with them, which I know can be painful. Both me and my husband have tried repeatedly to discourage this behavior, but he is still a toddler, so of course it's challenging. He either doesn't understand or thinks our scolding is funny, and most punishments don't work either. We refuse to spank him, but you can't ground a toddler or take their things away when all they do is laugh. 2 days ago, I had to run an errand, and it had seemed inconvenient to take my son when he was taking a nap. I asked her if she could watch him while I went, and she said it was fine. It wouldn't have taken me longer than 20 minutes, which I told her. She again stated it was fine. Before I left, I noticed she was wearing one of those really thin plastic headbands. I told her it could be dangerous, especially with how thin it was, but she said that if he woke up, she'd take it off and put it out of reach. When I came back, I heard both of them screaming and my toddler wailing. I saw my sister holding her ear and yelling at my toddler's son while he laid on the floor crying. I was furious. I grabbed him and I saw that his head was bleeding. I immediately assumed the worst and called 911 and an ambulance. When the ambulance did arrive and I finally gave a closer look at my sister, I could see her ear was bleeding. Both of them were sent to the hospital. Apparently what had happened was that my son had woke up after I left. The two of them were playing together on the couch when she got distracted by something on her phone. When she looked away, my son took her headband and poked it into her ear. She had apparently thrown him onto the ground to get him away from her and stop him from poking it further. I was still furious with her for obvious reasons. While thankfully the bleeding was just a large cut he must have gotten when he fell, the doctors say he fell so hard he now has a concussion. The headband apparently damaged my sister's eardrum, however, and now her hearing is damaged. Which I'm sure I'll feel worse about when my emotions aren't so angry. We paid for all of her hospital fees, of course. Obviously, my husband and I told her under no uncertain terms that she was going to move out and that we will no longer be paying for her schooling after this semester is complete, but we will not be pressing charges or pursuing legal action, which the paramedics had explained we could do. The problem is that now, several family members are saying we are treating her too harsh. My parents are saying that we should forgive her because it had been an accident and that I shouldn't have trusted her with my son to begin with, since he isn't her responsibility. But if she didn't want to take care of him, she could have said so. It's not like she's an irresponsible teenager. She is a grown adult capable of, say, restraining a toddler if they grab something they shouldn't. I do not think I am the asshole at all, but literally everyone in my life is acting like I am for expecting my sister to do the bare basics of keeping my son safe when I ask her to. What do you guys think? Lay down your ruling in the comments section and let's move on to our next story. Case 2. Am I the bad person for telling my husband that I no longer want my Christmas gift? For the past few years, I've wanted a very specific item. It's about $500. I don't like spending that much money on myself, and this isn't necessary to the household, so I never bought it. It would just be something to display, like an art piece, going to leave out exactly what it is because it would be identifying. This year my husband announced he was getting it for me for Christmas, which I was slightly down about because it ruined the surprise, but I was fine with it. But he keeps talking about it, and in the past month has made a lot of annoyed comments. I could buy a new TV for this price, I could buy so and so for how much this is, you're only getting this so don't expect anything else. And finally today, I sent him something funny that I thought was cute, and he responded saying, well, you're only getting this for Christmas, so don't show me anything else or I just won't get it. I feel like he's treating me like a child. I'm not making him purchase me anything, I'm not asking him to get me this or anything else for that matter. I've said a few times that he doesn't need to get me anything for holidays, just a nice dinner or a homemade gift from one of our children would be preferred. I don't like buying myself stuff in general, so I'm not out spending a crap ton of money. He is making me feel guilty, and I didn't even ask for this. He knows I wanted it because I joke around about it or have made comments, but I never told him to get it for me. Today was the last straw with the most recent complaint. So I sat him down and asked him to please not purchase it anymore, that I no longer wanted it. He kept pressing, asking me why, and I just said I changed my mind. He was right, we could spend money on something else for everybody. It turned into a spat, and he finally got it out of me that he ruined it. I explained that he complained so much about it. If I ever opened this as a gift from him, I would just think about how much he did not want to get it for me. And every time I saw it on the wall, I'd think of how he was so annoyed that he had to buy it, so I'd rather he just not. He got super upset and said I ruined Christmas, so now I feel awful. He loves Christmas and asks to be surprised by his gifts every year, which is why his behavior was so strange with this. It's like he felt forced, and I'm trying to tell him not to feel that way. I said to please just let the kids make something for me or for them to pick out something special. Now we're both upset, and I'm feeling like I should just have kept my mouth shut. This is such a stupid thing to worry about. I just also had had enough of him complaining about it. This isn't what Christmas is about at all. I just want to spend time with my family, go to church, and watch the kids' eyes light up and have a happy day. I don't want to hear any of his complaints about getting this anymore. So, am I the bad person? Did I ruin Christmas? What do you guys think of this one? Let us know in the comments section, and let's move on to our next story. Case 3. Am I the bad person for refusing to clean out my room when I leave for uni? Today my mom came to me and said, when you go to uni, clean out your room for your brother. No, will you or could you? Just a command. I said I didn't want to, but relented and told her I'll clean out half of my bookshelf and my desk. I asked her to just not let him use my bed. He's 8, has been requesting for a room, family of 5, for room, because all his friends have one. Thing is, I'll have to return home for summer and winter holidays. I requested for him to not use the bed because I'll have to use it during the holidays when I won't be living in the school dorms, and 1, he doesn't wash up before sleep and sticks his boogers everywhere, even on the sheets, and 2, he sleeps with his mom anyways, so I thought it wouldn't be a big deal. Also, I don't even know if I'll get into uni because I failed my entrance exams, equivalent of SATs, and am just waiting for 3 schools that I applied to using my school grades. I have an interview in the upcoming week, and this is the timing mom chooses to request I give him my room. Yes, I do know that he likely wants it because his peers all have their own rooms. However, my parents never gave me my own room until I was 11, almost 12, saying kids shouldn't sleep on their own and all that. We had enough rooms at the time, and I had to sleep in the same room as either my mom or dad. Yet she's willing to give him his room at the age of 8 by telling me to give up mine. She then said, "My full name, you're being very selfish now. Do you know that?" before storming off. Dad agreed with her, and when I tried to argue with him, saying I offered, just not the bed, he said that's basically the same as not offering, saying it's selfish. When I tried to argue that they didn't give me my own room despite how I asked as a kid, he said we did that because we thought it would be good for you and I don't remember you asking. He justified Mom calling me selfish because that's just your mom. He told me to go calm down and stop being emotional, telling me this isn't something to cry about. Tears reflex is like an instinct for me when I'm angry, saying I think differently 2 hours later. My friends are all talking about redecorating and buying new furniture now that high school's out. I always wanted that, and will never get that chance. I know that this might seem very stupid compared to other posts, all this over just a bit of space, but I don't know if I'm in the wrong here or not, and really wanted to vent. Am I the bad person? You've sat down, you've listened. Now, it's time to state your ruling. What is it gonna be? Let us have it down in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more cases like these. In life, we may run, but we can never hide from true justice. Stay safe, everyone.